In this video, we are going to cover Blue Coat's Technology Alliance ecosystem with endpoint detection and response vendors, showing the value of network intelligence coupled and integrated with endpoint detection and remediation capabilities. For this demonstration, we will be showing CounterTack's Sentinel platform integrated with Blue Coat's Advanced Threat Protection portfolio. In the demo, we will be showing two integration points. The first is designed for network and operation teams where we pass indicators of compromise from content analysis to the Sentinel manager to actually validate a threat we saw on the network was delivered to the endpoint. It will also query for other endpoints for the same threat in case it was delivered to the system through other undetected channels. The second integration point shows how incident responders can also benefit from the integration with Sentinel to security analytics. In this case, we are able to do network forensics around the threat delivered to the endpoint. We begin on the Windows 7 system where the Sentinel agent is deployed. For infection of the system, we will be using one of Blue Coat's demo malware sites. This site delivers a malicious executable that has been fuzzed so the file is no longer recognizable as malware. You can see as we access the demo site, we create the malware dynamically and then download it. If this site had actually been a known malicious delivery website, then ProxySG would have blocked the access to the site. But instead, we are allowed to download the malware. The file is then inspected at the content analysis system, but since there was no reputation on the file determined, it is handed over to the malware analysis appliance for detonation and further analysis. At this point, the content analysis system also releases the file, and we can see it now has been downloaded to the endpoint. This malware has been modified to give us information when it is executed about what it is accessing, modifying, and looking up for the endpoint. At this point, the system is fully compromised. We can now take a look at the activity being discovered by the different systems in our environment. First, let's take a look at the malware analysis appliance. We can see the file that we downloaded is being processed in the virtual environment. When this is completed, the results will be sent to content analysis system, and in addition, the results from the integration with Sentinel will provide more details. Now, if we log into the Sentinel interface, we can take a look at the infected system. We can see that the endpoint has already been evaluated in a critical state. If we look at some of the trace events, we see that there has been an event with suspicious execution. If we click on this trace, we can get more of the actual details. The event shows that files were created, threads were created in processes, registry values were overwritten, and outbound network traffic occurred. We have the unfair advantage of knowing where this executable came from, but if I had been an incident responder, I may begin my investigation by looking at the network traffic to see what information this contains about the file. The integration between Sentinel and Security Analytics makes this easy. The integration link will take information out of the event that can be used in Security Analytics. In this case, the option is presented to investigate based on the file name or file hash. Clicking the file name link launches a window into the user interface of Security Analytics. We can see that the filter bar has been pre-populated with a search for the file name, and the time has also been set around this activity was seen. Moving over to the Extraction tab allows us to look at the timeline of the flow. This shows us the web page access and provides all the artifacts created. The Preview tab will allow us to recreate actual HTML where the file was delivered from. By default, images, CSS, and scripts are disabled, so the website is showing raw text, but I could enable those if desired. Also, a copy of the actual executable is available for analysis. This is useful because many times the executable is deleted on the endpoint to hide its tracks. Look back at the sample in the malware analysis platform, we see that it completed its execution in the virtual environment. We can get more details and analysis of the actual execution. Many of the details here overlap with the information in Sentinel, which helps us to validate that this is a real threat. I have also received an email alert from the content analysis system. The system is configured to send these alerts on discovered threats. You can see within the email we have a threat rating, and we also have detailed information from the malware analysis appliance. At the very bottom of the email, There is information supplied by having the integration between content analysis and Sentinel. Content analysis queried the Sentinel system with indicators of compromise and asked which systems this had been seen on. In this case, only the system where we downloaded the malicious software was seen, and that information is returned to us. At this point, some automated remediation has taken place. Blue Coat's Global Intelligence Network has been given information about this validated threat, and rules are now in place to prevent any other user with ProxySG and content analysis from downloading this file. You can see it as I retry to download the file now, it is blocked. Also, since this has been validated as a threat, we could take action on the Sentinel Manager. One action we could take is to quarantine this host through the user interface to prevent it from leaking information or attacking other hosts on the network. There would be more steps we would take had this been an actual malware infection, but this demo was designed to show you the value of the integration between Blue Coat's advanced threat protection portfolio and endpoint detection response technologies. Thank you.